Hey folks, this is Kevin Dehart, Realtor, Keller Williams Elite, Owensboro, Kentucky. And I just want to make a video real quick. I'm out here on the river. You can see, I'm out here on the river. And when I first bought a boat, which was maybe 3 years ago, I don't know. When I bought the boat anyway, I knew nothing about boats. This video is contributed to first time boats. And also, this is a 1990 Sea Ray 180 bow rider, and it's a fish and ski model. So if you'll take a look, I just want to show the specifics of it real quick. Show the specifics of it. That's what your console will look like. Thought about the 1990 Sea Ray. Now for the storage up in the bow, you have these seats raise up. They're a little bit of a pain to raise up, honestly. And it's just like the identical thing on the other side. We could keep an anchor down in there. There is no easy place to store an anchor on here unless you put it down one of those compartments. And you kind of have to hang it from the cleat if you do use an anchor. This thingy up here, it took us forever to actually figure out what this is, because I'd never really been around boats before then. And that is that's the fish part of the ski. This piece, memory serves, is to technically plug in a trolling motor, I believe. And these switches from battery 1, battery 2. Battery 1 controls your main motor. Battery 2 is your trolling motor. And the live well, originally it's supposed to turn the live well on, which this boat normally had a live well, but they took it out. So we just disconnected the live well and just didn't mess with it anymore. The live well is still there, but the pump's out. And then this will raise the motor up and down, your tilt. And this boat has lights on it installed, and we also installed the fancy Garmin GPS. It's a good one. And as said, your console, and that stored right up in there. Now if you look down in here, this is your ski locker. We have a ski pylon down in here. For the fish and ski model, you have to install a pylon. I think most of them should already have them on there. But the pylon is right. The mount for the pylon is right there. It just screws in. And also you can't really see it, but that black thing right there, you take that off and that exposes your float for the gas tank. That's what measures how much fuel is in the gas tank. And these raise up for storage. And this thing right here, this one cushion comes off, and this whole thing raises up. Now on this part, we installed a belt right here. That middle compartment is originally the live well. We just use it for storage now. We disconnected the hoses and all that. Battery compartment. And originally, that compartment is where your battery for the trolling motor is supposed to go. And of course, that's your motor. This one has a 135 Mercury Black Max. Yeah, I think it is a Black Max. But yeah. And we had the floor redone and all that. Something else too, if you're considering buying a 1990 Sea Ray, make sure you check the floor, because that's something we failed to do, and it caused us a little trouble. But now the floor's been all fixed and redone. But for argument's sake, just check the floor. When you buy a boat too, check the prop, because if the prop's real beat up, that can cost you a fortune. They are not cheap. This one, it wasn't too bad of shape. And if your gas gauge ever starts to not work, which when we bought this boat, the gas gauge didn't work, and we put a new gas float in the gas tank. It's a little bit of a pain to get to, but it's well worth it. It fixed it. It was I think now it's a $40 fix. It was a $20 fix back when we first bought the boat. This thing right here, and as you can imagine, this glass folds down. And we installed a ski mirror on there because we do go tubing on it. And state law says I think Kentucky state law, don't quote me on this, but I think Kentucky state law is you have to have at least either a mirror or a spotter. I think in Indiana you have to have a mirror regardless, if memory serves. And of course that opens up. Make sure you always have your registration on board somewhere. And legally you're supposed to have a first aid kit. And these pieces down here, like I said, we didn't know anything about any of this when we first got a boat. So these pieces, they lock and they turn on both ends. We had to replace them because they just broke off. And there's supposed to be a boot on that end and this end. We haven't put one on this end yet. But that boot down there is not original. We bought that at Owensboro RV, and it's a boot for a camper. But you buy some shoe goo, that's what we used. Glued it on there, and it has not moved yet, knock on wood. But, yeah, any questions or anything like that the person could help out with, drop them in the comments. You know, that's what I can. That back there is a ski platform, or not ski platform, swim platform. That's where your ladder is right there. It's kind of hanging down the water. But yeah, it's a wonderful day for the Ohio River. Now I just want to show too, another piece to look at on a 1990 Sea Ray is when you have the boat in the water, this hole right here, and this is on this boat, and every motor outboard, this is a two-stroke, but I'm pretty sure every outboard motor has a hole like this. Water should be spitting out of there. If it's not spitting out, you got a problem. And a while back, it wasn't spitting out, which we've had a new water pump in this thing since we've had it, but it stopped spitting out water after that. And we stuck a toothpick right in this hole, and that in and out, and that cleans that hole out. Also, something else too, just a fun fact. There's a hole down here, right here, how well you can see it. And what that is, that it gives access to the sensor, kind of like a pressure sensor. When you're going through the water, water goes through this hole, and it registers as miles per hour. It registers how fast you're going. That's how that works. Now, this is it up on the ground, and there's my tea sitting there from McDonald's. This right here is for your bilge. That's where the water pumps out. And in this boat in particular, the bilge is not automatic. You gotta turn it on and turn it off when you're done with it, otherwise you'll burn the pump up. And these lights down here, they're not factory. They were installed previously. This hole is the overflow valve for the lap well. We disconnected the hose and plugged it off because we don't use it anymore. And this piece right here, it took us forever to figure out what this is. There's a hole directly underneath here, and that's ventilation through your gas tank, because when the gas tank comes and goes, it has to breathe. Also, anytime you also want a lock, keep somebody from stealing your trailer while you're out in the water. And the winch down here, you've got a safety chain on this. Every trailer is a little different, but you have the safety chain here in case the winch fails. If the winch fails, the chain will catch it. And of course, your lights, your nav lights, they go here. And there's also a hole for one down here. And it's federal law that you have, state and federal law, that you have to have those navigational lights in anytime you're operating at night. And let's look down here. Turn the flashlight on here. And this is down below. Give you an idea what's down there. Down here is where the original sonar it had on it is down there. We just left it, and we put the new sonar on the outside. And your live well pump is originally down there, which somebody took that out previously. So is your bilge pump also. And the transducer, which is what clicks for the sonar and the fish finder, we glued this to the back. We did not use bolts, and that's worked out really well. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and thanks for watching.